Hi there, that's right, it's Nick Dutch, back on the camera yet again for another delightful tarot reading. I do apologise that I haven't managed to get all that many tarot reading videos done recently. I have been very busy, and sometimes working for a living has to take priority over doing these tarot videos, for which I would like to apologise. However, I do seem to have got through that little financial bottleneck that I was in, and so I should be able to get down to doing more reading videos more regularly now. I do have a bit of a backlog to go through, so do bear with me as far as getting readings done. And so, well, basically without further ado, I'll get on with the reading today. Now, we've got a YouTube user. I think he knows who he is, and he's decided to inquire about how he's going to do with his studies. His YouTube channel name is Bishop455, if I've remembered correctly. And we'll just have a quick look. As is traditional, whilst I've been talking to you, I've been giving the cards a good shuffle, still using the Book of Thoth Tarot, which is just the one I use when I'm working over the telephones and over the internet and dealing with clients around the UK as well as around the world. We'll just have a quick look and see what kind of thoughts, feelings, moods and energies are coming through. Just a moment. Alright, now this is a very interesting reading. What I'm going to do is I'm going to quickly show you the cards so you can get a feeling of the progression. Initially, when you have a look at the first few cards, you'll probably think, oh, that doesn't look all that good straight away. But there is a reason for what's coming through here. Okay, I really feel that the reading is explaining a kind of like a story which may have some significance with your life. Just a moment, please. Okay, now as I'm sure you're aware, the tarot often speaks in a very allegorical manner. And the first signs we've got here within, your short-term future period is not looking very positive at all. We have the signs of cruelty, we have the signs of futility. So initially you might be thinking, oh my word, that must mean everything's going to go really badly. But if that was the case, would I be seeing signs relating to satisfaction, more academic studies and a feeling of academic success, and a feeling of euphoria coming at the end? Basically, the way that this reading seems to be describing itself to me is a sense of stress and feeling that life is a bit difficult, feeling that, yes, you've got a lot of pressure on at the moment. Maybe it's your studies, maybe it's your tests, maybe it's the next year. Maybe it's a question of retaking a few things and having to go through the process of just bringing yourself up to the level whereby you need to be, okay? And so, yeah, I mean, being a student is in fact very difficult. You may not believe it, but I was one myself, okay? Did my degree in sociology and psychology, and I graduated a little over 10 years ago. But I remember those days very well, and I would often feel very futile and very negative. But these signs are reversed, okay? So there is a sense that it's not, the direct meaning of the cards. It's not just a question of, oh my word, everything's going to fail. There's something else happening here as well, which I feel is being explained by the next signs there. Now, this particular card, the Seven of Staves, often labelled as Valor, okay, it's come through and it's reversed. So Valor is like your bragging rights. That's once you've received a certain level of success and achievement, you're at that point of being able to say to everyone, look, this is what I did, this is how I did it, and I feel proud of myself because of it, okay? But the signs are reversed. It's speaking of the potential to be able to be really, really proud of yourself as a result of what you're going through in the here and now, okay? Now, sword and stave signs are all often regarded as being associated with academia. Speaking of passion within the fiery elements, speaking of intelligence and study within the air elements, okay? So, yes, the reading is suggesting that it feels like you're struggling at the moment. But there's no real sense of failure here, okay? There's nothing negative coming through. The general trend is towards that sense of satisfaction that I mentioned earlier on. Knowing you've got the potential to be able to turn around to people and say, look, this is what I did, this is how I did it, and I'm proud of myself. Knowing that satisfaction is going to come, okay? And also a reiteration of the academic signs coming through in the Hermit card. He carries a lamp which shows that he is illuminated by his own intelligence. And that, I feel, is talking about you using your knowledge further on down the line in the future. It's a very optimistic sign, okay? There may still be a feeling of solitude or being alone with your responsibilities in the here and now. And that it does come through with the Hermit card as well. But that's often what a lot of life is about. But if there's a sense of joy and there's a sense of purpose associated with it, it doesn't feel all that bad. Now, cup signs at the end of the reading there do often speak about happiness. That's a reiteration of what we had over there, okay, with a sense of satisfaction. But it's a significator card. So seeing you as someone who is not an old person, but still relatively young, within your mature youth, shall we say, doing rather well, and actually being happy doing what you're doing. Cup signs are often associated with love. Now that love could be of a romantic nature, but in this particular case, as your question was about your studies, was about your career and the foundation that you're making for your career, I can only assume that this is actually talking about the sense of pride and happiness you will have when your career has really started getting going. Not immediately after graduation, but with the passage of time, okay? So, despite the struggle, despite the sense of, feeling of fear, thinking that the whole world is crushing in upon you, that negative emotion that we all get when we're worried about the future, and we know that our activity in the here and now could affect the future. But also knowing, that something inside you is telling you that this time is going to come, and I feel very strongly that that time will come. The longer term, bigger picture is looking beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Alright, so we've had a quick look at the reading there. We've seen what's come through. Very interesting signs coming through in your spread. I actually feel very positive. Now, you are asking more or less about how things are going to be within the short-term future. What I would say here is do the best that you can. You are not an unintelligent individual. I feel you're someone who's got creativity, you've got a drive to be successful somewhere inside yourself, despite the fact that there is that feeling of apprehension there. I have this wonderful feeling that you're actually going to do rather well in the long term. But you've got to get there, and there's only one way that you can get there, and that's one day at a time. One task at a time. Making sure your work is, structured and planned out, and you're doing everything appropriately. And I feel that you've got more than the capacity to make that happen. Alright? I have every faith in you, even if you don't. Alright. Good fortune, God and or Goddess, and all none of the above bless. Nick Dutch signing out for now.